all, I'm going to be very brief because it's hot. It's hot and it's a very, very important day. I want to highlight, this is Okinawan Memorial Day. This is a day most people living in this country have no idea about. Most people living in this country do not know the history that Hideko and you related. It is a mystery to them. It's hidden in history, and we're here to bring it out and say this should never, ever happen again. I know a little bit about this personally because my father was drafted into the U.S. military in 1943. He was taught German in order to interrogate German prisoners, but somehow when he was shipped out, it was to the Battle of Okinawa to be an intelligence sergeant. He didn't know anything about Asia, Okinawa, the people or the customs, but at least he was the type of person who wanted to learn. And many years later, he wrote in his memoir that the moment he became a pacifist was watching the American military kill Okinawans who were doing nothing but sitting on the tarmac of the airport looking for a place to exist. This is what he said. They were just looking for a place to exist. This is when I became a pacifist. And he raised his children in the same way. I am glad to be here with people of my generation, like Susan and others, who have stood up largely because of what we saw in Vietnam. And we said, no, never again can this be done by people in our name. But guess what? It continues to be done. I appreciate Susan talking about Gaza and Israel and Palestine. I would draw a different parallel, complementary but different with her parallel. Okinawa is of great strategic interest to the big powers, to the imperialist powers, to the United States, and to China, the very same way Israel is. The U.S. needs Israel as a loyal force to control the Middle East, and I do not believe the U.S. is going to back off of this slaughter of people in Palestine, Gaza, and the West Bank without great continuing protest coming from in this country. We carry the people of Okinawa and all the other countries that have been slaughtered, and I'm talking about literally slaughtered by the U.S. military. This is something we have to be firmly aware of and against and take a very different stand. And I think we also have to realize that it's not just a colonizing thing. I know people are into stopping colonization these days, and there shouldn't be colonies, but we have an overriding worldwide system of imperialism, of capitalism exploiting everywhere, not stopping to destroy part or whole peoples. And this is the story that Okinawa has to tell us. A people who were literally among the most peaceful, unarmed, successful, cooperative societies in the world, destroyed by successive colonization, by Japan, by the US, by Japan again. And don't think China doesn't also have its eyes on the beautiful country of Okinawa because of the US bases, yes, but because it's in a strategic position close to Taiwan. My revolution revolutionary leader, I really look to Baba Veki and says, look, we can no longer allow these imperialists to dominate the world and determine the destiny of humanity. It's the people of all societies and all countries who have to come together and say no and take action to stop these successive genocides. And really more than that, we have to change the whole system so that we could have a society that cares for people, number one, and the planet. I am very honored to be asked to be here by my sister Hideko and to meet all of you. And we will march forward together for a new society and a system that does not do this again to any people anywhere. Thank you.
Way to go, Debra.